Hey, welcome back to VPL Southeast Asia. Today is gonna be the last night for the regular season, and tonight I have a special guest with me. His name is Drew, aka Topical Burn. Hey Drew, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Chiz, and thanks for having me on.
Yep. Let me just lower the music so that they could hear you better. All right. Let's see. If
No, not the music.
not the music, but yeah, can you guys hear him? Like if you guys can't hear him, I think I can increase the volume and lower the in-game volume later on, but we should be okay, we should be fine. So yeah, so quick introduction of Drew. I've been working with him for a very long time. We work on Clash Royale, and now we work together for uh, Arena of Valor as well. He is the, can I say you are a leader for Nova eSports for
I am actually technically the leader in game for Nova Esports on the North American server. So
I see, cool. So if you guys are interested to join Nova eSports, feel free to talk to this guy. That's his Twitter handle, Drew RPL. You could also find him on our Discord server. So if you guys are not sure about our Discord server, you could, I think you can find it somewhere. I can't remember where you can find that, but I'll try to post it somewhere. I believe it's under the description on YouTube. But yeah. But anyway, let's talk about the matches tonight. We have Wappa Pets, aka MYT. They have changed their name, but I haven't had the time to update their logo. They are gonna face against Samurai Gamers. This match was supposed to happen last night, but it was cancelled, and we rescheduled it tonight. Because tonight we only had one match anyway. So and about that match, is the next one. It's Dix PH against N Gaming. So we have two matches for you tonight, and that will wrap up the entire regular season, and we'll head into the playoffs. So Drew joining us at the right time.
yeah, the most exciting time of the season, it sounds like.
Yeah. So Drew, let us know what kind of heroes that you play, so that we kind of know like what do you like to see and stuff.
So they get a feel for me.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think the first character that I really played a lot outside of the Valheim that everybody is compelled to play when they first start the game was probably Lubu, and I may have started just because I saw a few people play him in a few different spots. I know that he's played top most of the time in the Dark Slayer lane,
Mm-hmm.
but I've seen him used in jungle pretty effectively, and sometimes when you're playing with people who don't know how to play or they don't know the positions or even the talents to take, sometimes it's beneficial. I usually keep Punish as my talent just in case I have to jungle if somebody changes last second or things like that. So
Mm.
I've also been playing quite a bit of Teamy just because the Pooty Poots is super fun, and then being a bro helps you obviously save down teammates or even yourself, since I occasionally overextend and stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah,
cool. So we don't
good
have Timmy.
character.
We don't have Timmy here. So just so you know, so that our audience, for those who don't really follow the scene in EU as well as NA, we don't have Timmy here. So yeah, but Timmy, I've
Oh,
heard a lot of good things about that hero, and can't wait to have it over here.
can't wait to have that trash panda all to yourself, huh?
Yeah. So so we know what you like to play now. How about in terms of do you have like a team that you play with?
I have a few people that I play with in game. I'm not
Mm,
really on a professional
mm,
team for Nova. That would be an unwise move for them to go ahead and sign me to a team. But we are currently scouting, especially in North and South America, since that is the area of the world and the time zone that I'm usually awake during. So this is actually early in my morning for me, around 8:30, something like that.
have you
So.
slept at all?
Oh yeah, yeah, I definitely did. I think I went to bed right after we talked last night, so I've been asleep a good 6.5, 7 hours, which is more than normal actually. Wanted to make sure it's well rested to cast some VPL. So
Cool. So yeah, happy to have you here. Hopefully we get you and Mal on board as well as a triple threat casting during the playoffs. That would be quite cool.
Yeah, for sure. And your wife will probably be happy if you can take a break occasionally and actually eat dinner without having to run off and cast some Valiant Premier League.
Yeah, but I'll probably still have to do some camera works on my side.
For sure, for sure. Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, we are waiting for one more player from MYT, aka Wawa Pets. They are taking a little longer as usual, and Samurai Gamers are all ready. And just gonna have a quick look at the leaderboard here. I actually counted that match last night as a forfeit, but I should reset it. Let me reset it quickly and put it up on screen.
See, Samurai Gamers already has a raving fan in chat, so
Yeah,
shout out to them.
Samurai Gamers used to be Doministers Astra. They are very very strong coming in from the open qualifiers, and was supposed to be one of the top teams, and they have shown they are indeed capable of securing the top 4 spots. So you could see that even after only 6 games played, they have 5 wins and only 1 loss. So it's pretty significant to be sitting at the 3rd spot. And Wawa Pets, meanwhile, if they could win this, I'm not sure if they could overlap MA Hexa Alpha. Actually, they can't because they lost against MA Hexa Alpha. So the best Wawa Pets could do tonight is to leap over Team Fire Dragoon. Team Fire Dragoon recently released Rizel. So due to toxic behaviors during ranked games, so Rizel will not be representing Team Fire Dragoon anymore. So that's like some sort of breaking news if you guys
you heard it here first. Yeah.
Not really. What? You heard it here first, but I don't think the news are being released anywhere else. Who is the newest hero in the other server? I believe it is Joker in NA. Am I right?
Yep, he's coming out on the 23rd, I believe. So he's been available through some in-game events. I don't know if you saw the treasure chest hunt thing. They broke up a code into 6 different pieces and spread it across 6 of their social medias, and then you had to kind of like rearrange them in order. And so several people have done that. Some people at Nova eSports pounded in some codes, and and we eventually got it. It was just like, I don't know if you have them on that server, but they're like the chest that you can buy for less vouchers that doesn't guarantee the character, but you could also get some other nice stuff in there as well. So
yeah, so
I got 15 gems. It was kind of disappointing, but you know,
yeah, I thought
get Joker on the 23rd.
Yeah, I kind of think that the NA and EU servers are not as generous as the SEA server. I feel that SEA servers, the heroes are cheaper, and the publishers are much more willing to give away free heroes. Especially we just had the 317 day, so yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, that was pretty nice, and it seems like we're just waiting for one more player here from MYT. I kind of had to sound them off a little because I did mention to them that I was supposed to forfeit them last night, but they requested for a reschedule. So I gave them a chance. I told them 9:30. It's 9:38. They're not here, so it's kind of frustrating to work with these kind of people. But I guess you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everybody would rather see a game than not. So, yeah. And it looks like Samurai would rather play than not.
Yeah. So disbanded the lobby. So we're gonna head into game 2 instead. So game number 1 will be a forfeit, and I'm just gonna create a new lobby for that. Let me just invite you real quick.
It's good. I'm just getting the unstable network connection as opposed to the highly unstable, which wouldn't allow me to join. So.
Okay. So game 1 goes to Samurai Gamers. Congratulations to Samurai Gamers. They have won game 1 due to forfeit.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Maybe an easy cast for me, huh?
Yeah, but we do have another game. We do have another match, so we shall see. How is it gonna be? But I do need to change some of the names now. Samurai Gamers will be switching side. So yeah. Let me see. Seems like Samurai Gamers is 1-0. So okay, done. All right, seems like we're ready to go.
Now, who was the team that actually beat Samurai Gamers?
Who was the team that's? Let me check real quick. Let me start the game first. And
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
yeah.
Glad to see everybody's here this time, on time.
Yep. The team that beat Samurai Gamers was.
Wow, no time
Tamago.
wasted on that ban.
It was
Joker
Tamago.
banned immediately.
Yeah, Joker banned immediately. Probably a targeted ban. We don't see Joker being banned very often. Murat ban is.
Yeah, I would expect Violet here first. If they're banning the only other marksman worth playing. No? Chalk? Okay. Maybe a different meta over here.
Yeah, slightly different meta. We do see a lot of Murat ban, a lot of Chokna ban, as well as Cephis. We don't see a lot of Violet bans these days. I wonder why. But
People have just shifted away completely to dive comps, I guess, as opposed to running ADC. Yeah.
Pretty much. So Zephyr is being picked up here by Samurai Gamers. They I believe Relax plays on Zephyr very well. Oh, okay. Last minute change to Violet there. Won't be too surprised if Wava Pets picked up Zephyr instead. So there we go. It seems like they're gonna go with Slims. The thing is, even with the release of Cal Annas as well as Indies, we're still seeing a lot of Violet and Slims being picked up by teams. There aren't enough variations in my opinion. So
Yeah, and really interesting to see the Alice picked up there second. That's usually what I would call a tier 2 character. She does have the really nice CC with the hissy fit, but then I guess maybe they're trying to combine that with the Chog. Take away the Chog and then you hit him with a hissy fit maybe and try to wipe the whole team. But besides that, they don't have very much CC on the team, so a very interesting choice in my opinion they made there.
Indeed. So yeah, not sure if the music sound is a bit too loud, but yeah, here we go. We have all the picks now. Tane being picked up as the final one for Wava Pets NYT, and Jido is gonna play on Zephys. We're gonna see the interesting matchup in the mid lane because it's gonna be between Violet and L'Oreal. Who do you think will prevail from that?
Well, I'll be honest, I've never seen a mid lane Violet, so I will be very interested to see that. I would have assumed that maybe the Chog or something like that would have picked up mid lane to go against the L'Oreal, but I would say if it's a Violet versus L'Oreal, that Violet's going to have the advantage of poke, but then if they get to late game, there's potential for the L'Oreal just to throw down the smite and then kind of hover around the Violet once she burns that move 1. Just going to be able to get rid of her. So we'll see how that plays out. I'll be very interested to see a mid lane Violet if that's indeed what they play.
Yeah, we don't really see a lot of Chok being played in mid lane, to be honest. So
just
Chok,
as a roaming support kind of character.
He plays pretty.
Okay.
In this region, we played it much more like a support roam. And we do see Violet being played.
I would say that Alice is also a similar role to that. Then how do they typically play Alice? Do they play that in a duo lane kind of meta and support the ADC and the Abyssal Dragon lane?
So we shall see how it's gonna pan out. It seems like it seems like you're right. Chok is gonna play in mid lane, but still a little too early to call. But Relax playing on that Violet is going towards the bot lane, the Abyssal Dragon lane already. So yeah.
Looks like they're being very cautious and trying to prevent these invades. Zenial's going in slightly there on the... Okay, just hovering, checking to make sure there's not going to be a counter invade. Looks like both teams are just scouting things out, seeing if they can maybe snipe a golem here early game. And the Malik actually pressuring the Violet down and bot.
Yeah.
Staying, checking on the jungle, trying to pick up a kill.
Yeah, mid lane is fight between 2 against 1. L'Oreal managed to fend them off pretty effectively there. L'Oreal just released not long ago, I think in less than a week, and she's being used a lot. And last night we saw a mega kill, L'Oreal, played by KCP from Tamago, so that was a pretty impressive stuff. And I think
yeah, anytime you see a mega.
Yeah. So if you guys missed that, make sure you guys check out our Facebook page, and we did post the highlight there. So yeah, but anyway, pretty passive start from both teams. They exchanged some long range attacks, but nothing too aggressive. But speaking of that, NY is being targeted by RVP and Victorio. Slapstick is there to hunt down RVP. RVP gets hit by the stun, and they might take RVP out first. Ooh, first blood goes to SG Tan. Kid might not survive this as well. So Samurai Gamers off to a great start. So what do you think of that engagement over there? Like, who made a difference there?
Well, it just looked like positioning wasn't what it should have been for MYT, and Samurai Gamers is able to take advantage of that and pick off one early and then pick up the second kill. You never want to give up the first blood just because of the gold advantage that's going to give the other team, but then giving up the second kill, that's going to allow them to take another objective like this bat up here, Spirit Sentinel. I'm not sure, do you guys call it a bat here, or what do you call it?
No, we call it the Spirit Sentinel. Bat it's fine as well, I think.
Look.
Nobody really set a tone to it, but nobody really set
they managed to invade and pick up that Might Golem, so we'll see if that's able to turn the gold back in their favor, and there's only about a 0.5 difference in gold, so.
Jido is very low there. Step 6 making sure that he doesn't get away. Kind of overcommitted himself, but Jido 2 assists, one death now. You do want that Zephyr's to go off to a good start, but unfortunately he goes down. NYT Burst trying to stop Vittorio from taking down that tower. The tower is pretty low now, it's about half HP. And gonna see some action going on at the bot lane.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to pick up that bottom creep and they weren't able to do that, and they pulled off, and maybe they're going to position around this Abyssal Dragon soon to see who can get some extra gold, but they're going to pick up a mid lane creep instead and just continue to invade the jungles of Zephyrs. I'd like to see his team kind of help him out, knowing that there's an aggressive counter jungling strat going on, help save him some jungle or maybe take it for themselves, but we'll see if they make that adjustment as the game goes on.
Yeah, so both teams are not pushing too hard on terms of objective. They didn't really have the opportunity to do so other than the Zuka at the top lane. Jido is being pushed by Knife towards Kid, and he unleashed the execute a little too early in my opinion, but Kid goes down to Jido, and I think that team play was kind of suspect. I'm not too sure what he was thinking there. Trying to get away. NYT Burst goes down to SG Tan. That is 4 kills now for Samurai Gamers.
Yeah, I would call a missed Crush ultimate there. If he'd been able to land it, they might have picked up a kill. They've still picked up 2, so we'll see if that's able to help them continue to catch back up to this gold lead that Samurai Gamers has been able to gain just by farming their lanes. It looks like maybe they've been so aggressive counter jungling in the Samurai Gamers jungle, they haven't actually been taking care of the waves in lane, which obviously is going to be the bulk of your gold. So, oh, and that bottom tower as well is part of the gold differential.
Yeah, so we saw Valiant taking out the bottom lane, but Pets Meet NYT responded by taking out the mid lane tower. So yeah, 1 apiece now for both teams, but Samurai Gamers is still slightly on top in terms of gold as well as kills. Seems like Kid and NY, the team and L'Oreal will stick together most of the time, trying to protect Kid from the likes of Violet as well as Chop now. So it's just chasing them away. But the Beast Dragon is being contested for the first time here within the first 6 minutes. So kind of late for the first Beast Dragon, but let's see if MYT will respond to this. And MYT9 is the only one there. First Beast Dragon goes to Samurai Gamers.
And as that happened, L'Oreal was able to rotate up top and pick off the Zuka, who'd been pushing the Zennial really hard, but just took too much damage and went down in the end under towers.
Yeah, but Samurai Gamers getting killed by MYT here. It took out 2 in exchange of 0. So very good trade there. Might take down RVP as well. RVP. Ooh, slapstick.
Oh.
Took him out.
That was a really nice opening and engage by the Thane, pushing the Alice away from tower so that they could get enough damage in and pick her off.
Meanwhile, at the top, Kid against Vittorio. Vittorio avenging his own death, taking out L'Oreal. Plus, meanwhile, was busy in the jungle and did not manage to save his teammate. Back to back bot lane, MYT, slapstick, and nice, slapstick is very low turn, making sure that it doesn't get away. Picks up a kill himself, and he's gonna try to chase down Lomi as well. So both teams are pretty aggressive now, and 7 kills. And we spoke about trying to catch up in terms of goal. MYT had managed to do that, and they are in the lead right now.
Yeah, pretty heavy team fight breaking out in the mid lane. About half health on the side for Samurai Gamers. We'll see if somebody's able to land a significant ult. Oh, and the Thane ult there just spanks down that character there for Samurai Gamers. Continuing engage, and another one bites the dust for Samurai Gamers. They should probably just fall back at this point, and the Chog goes down as well. That's not what you want to see at all. And they're continuing to push forward, trying to land that Slim's throw. If they had, they've been able to pick off another one there, but they're going to instead head to this Dark Slayer, or at least position around it. We'll see if they actually intend to go for it. It looks like they're not. They're just falling back to their jungle and farming. I would like to see them pressure or maybe take a neutral objective. Either, I guess they assumed they were too low to challenge the Dark Slayer there, but they could have headed for the Abyssal Dragon, and maybe that's where they're headed now.
Yeah, but it's too late. Jido is around the area, and he is capable of stealing if he wants to. And most of Samurai Gamers, all players are up now, and SG Turn might be face checking 9 here. Gets caught by a slapstick stun. Get away there pretty easily. That chop. Really good mobility. Jido, oh, stunned by slapstick. This could pay. Wow.
Oh, and the crush comes through, and the Zennial ult comes through. A little bit off target, but that's enough to force back Samurai Gamers, and now they'll have this Abyssal Dragon uncontested.
Yeah, so MYT does a good job to chase away their opponent, and we picked up their first dragon of the game. And now they are slightly behind in terms of goal, but I would say both teams are neck to neck right now. What happens? The early game goes to Samurai Gamers, but mid game seems like MYT is slightly on top. Royal trying to take this Spirit Sentinel. I think he managed to do that.
Yeah, both teams just kind of in a lull here, disengaging so they can reposition around for a team fight. Just poking, seeing what they can get. Thane actually checking the jungle, finding nothing there, heading back.
So
looks like they may be trying to just clear waves so that they can actually get a push on this tower. And that's probably smart. Malik pushing in pretty low. The Chog's going in to check him out. We'll see if anything happens down here.
SG Time should be able to clear that wave. And MYT kind of sit back a little here and try to clear their own jungle and catch up a little. But it's gonna be a really tough fight as we enter the 11th minute of the game. should take a look at the itemization right now. Slims is very far ahead.
Ooh.
Speaking of Slims, he got taken out by Zuka there. I will execute, takes out.
Oh, and they're very close to getting a team wipe here. We'll see if they can hold out and actually make that happen.
Samurai Gamers trying to take down MYT, but they did lose 2 as well, so it's a 2-for-2 trade. But here in the mid lane, 3 against 2, it's gonna be a tough fight. SG Jido might be going down here, just one slice from Lomi. Oh my god, he managed to get away. Lomi didn't have his cooldown up, but it's a 2-for-2 trade. Jido will be able to pick up this red buff before heading back to the base, and YT earned themselves a tower there, and Jido jumps in to try to help out. Vittorio chasing down Lomi. Oh, Vittorio, his HP just went down so quickly there.
Oh
my god, that hurts. That hurts. When you're whenever you're chasing someone down, you thought that you can take him down all by yourself, but then something just screw your plan and take you down within seconds. So that's
the engage before that, really impressive by the 2 tanks and I guess the warrior and Malak for MYT. They're able to actually get in a kill, and an effective kill on the Zeppies, and they're able to push the tower and take it down. Now that's enabling them to go for the Dark Slayer with relative ease. We'll see if the Chalk can steal here. I don't think he'll be able to. Yeah.
The Tain was using his execute, just making sure that the Dark Slayer goes down and goes to the buff goes to their team. And MYT with the Dark Slayer buff here might turn around their early games. Their early games they were behind, but right now they are right on top of Samurai Gamers. Just to remind you guys, it seems like I did not update the score, but due to the game 1 forfeit by MYT, currently Samurai Gamers is leading by 1 game to 0. Slapstick goes down to Vittorio, and a big team fight comes out here. MYT is outnumbering Samurai Gamers. It's 4 against 2. Jido getting chased by 9, and Burst. A stun could do very well here against Jido, but they're still chasing him down. Finally Burst getting that kill. Relax as well as Tan won't be able to join that fight. They were a little too spread out there, but the Dark Slayer buff is still up, and unfortunately I don't think MYT is maximizing that use of the Dark Slayer buff.
No, not at all. I'd like to see them push down a couple of these low towers at least, if not take a high ground. They do have the numbers advantage, and they do have the Dark Slayer buff, as you mentioned. I think they were hesitant to push it just because the Slims did go down in one of those engages by the Abyssal Dragon, so maybe they felt like they didn't have the damage to actually take the towers, but a stiff breeze would have blown over one of the towers, and that's what they've just done in that bottom lane there. Dark Slayer buff runs out. We'll see what they do as they try to continue to extend their gold lead and perhaps end the game in the next couple minutes.
Yeah, so we're entering late game now. Someone mentioned the Malok is so strong, and we do see pretty much almost complete itemization here from the Malok. Just 1 item away from completion. And, you don't see that very often for Malok within the first 15 minutes. So for me, is doing very well to achieve that. 4 kills and 6 assists. And wow, the fight breaking out here. Jido back away. Knight being targeted instead. Ooh, Knight just 1 HP away. He goes down. But it's a 1-for-1 trade here. RVP getting chased out by Kit. Double kill for Kit there. But Relax should be able to take him out. No! Relax was taken out by Danny. Oh my god. That Malok just creating so much problem for Samurai Gamers. And he comes in with the ultimate here. Trying to slow everyone.
Chog ult to cancel out, yeah.
Cancel it out. And,
oh my goodness. such low HP on that L'Oreal, but she manages to pick up another kill, and that's what you start to see with the late game L'Oreal. She can just start to carry, but they did manage to take down enough of the MIT players that they're forcing to disengage from the two tanks. So.
Yeah, so they will manage to defend their high ground tower, but this top lane tower might not. Just a little left there. MIT, very aggressive, same as Samurai Gamers. They have done well to protect their towers so far, but they do need to turn this around because MIT is getting very far ahead. 4.5k gold.
What do you think they need to do to come back, Chisa?
I feel that the Violet could do a little bit more. I feel that she's been pretty much ineffective. Gotta try to protect that Violet a little bit better. Zephyrus is trying to be a little aggressive during early team fights and got himself this advantage while his HP is low. So when Zephyrus is low, he kind of backs away and getting uninvolved, and you're left with you're left with Alice, you're left with Chokna and the Zuka to kind of frontline the defense, and I don't think that's a very strong front line, to be honest.
Yeah, it's really not. The only thing that's got any tankage at all is that Chog. I guess you can scale the Zeppies depending on how you build him, which it looks like he has built him mostly attack damage. Yeah, so.
I'm Pierce as well, so not sure about this.
Yeah, just perhaps not the best composition, and then on top of that, you don't do the itemization correctly, and so you're right. They end up with a fairly weak front line, but they've done rather well here. Looks like they might be able to pick off the last two tanks and perhaps get a push on tower as long as this Violet can stay alive and continue to deal damage. She actually didn't have a kill until just that last engage. She's able to pump out quite a bit of damage, and we'll see if they're able to do anything with this slight numbers advantage. Looks like they're stealing the jungle, or at least this Sage Golem, and perhaps they'll take a tower.
Yeah, perhaps they'll take a tower, but Lomi is it's been a pain for Samurai Gamers. 5 kills, 11 assists, only 1 death. RP against Blue Legs. Can they take him down all by themselves? Senio jumps in to help out and turn things around. This is why Senio is so good. Like during 1v2 situation, you could just jump in and disrupt your plan. That's a good Senio play. But yeah, seems like it's gonna be a very long match here. 18 minutes in, and we have the Dark Slayer up. Jido is contesting it. Let's see if MYT could respond to it. Nine and Kid is around the area. Maybe they could steal it. Maybe not. Let's pick it up. And just in time before MYT could come close. Ultimate, but Kid being targeted here by Tun, and a slapstick taken down as well. So this is a very dangerous situation for MYT. They have both their main damage dealers going down there, and only 3 tanks left. Jido goes down. And do you think Samurai Gamers could make full use of this situation? They do have the numbers advantage now.
They've got the minion wave. I'd be shocked if they aren't able to end the game right here, but there are several very tanky characters between them and victory, so perhaps they'll be able to just sacrifice their HP, but it looks like they're going down quickly, and the Violet just continuing to deal out some damage. We'll see. That minion wave's gone, so they're going to have to retreat. Looks like they're going to the jungle, waiting for that next wave to crash into that mid tower. They really probably should have taken the opportunity to push the top and bottom waves so that they have multiple waves crashing at once, but they chose not to do that. They're pushing this mid tower. They take it. They're able to get those siege minions, or rather the I honestly don't remember what they're called. The larger minions that are able to push into tower into the base.
Yeah, so I agree that they kind of missed the opportunity there to push the top and bottom lane there. I mean, especially the bot lane. I felt that the bot lane was left unsecure, and missed opportunity there. But they did make progress.
They did.
One high ground tower taken out is a better trade with the Dark Slayer buff compared to MYT. MYT didn't have the didn't take down any high ground tower with the Dark Slayer buff, but now Relax getting chopped by Taints of Execute, but Jido makes sure that he gets that Slims first, target him first, and Kid as well. So Zephyr is doing a very good job taking out the two main damage dealer in NY's team and left them in the same situation as the previous team fight. Now Samurai Gamers have all 5 of their players up. Lomi trying to stop them. Lomi still unkillable right now. Just one death. But another high ground tower goes down. Jido trying to stay alive. Execute comes up as he was stunned. But MIT, I don't think they could survive this. 4 players.
They're just gonna end the game here, I think, yeah.
So Samurai Gamers will probably take this right here, right now. And
wow,
congratulations to them, Samurai Gamers taking it 2-0. And that's gonna be the end of the first match. Samurai Gamers.
You know what? We kind of knocked their comp, very odd, very small front line, but what they did have was the 2 dive characters in the Zephy's and the Zuka that were able to jump consistently towards the later game onto that Slims and onto the L'Oreal, take out the damage early for MYT, and in the end they're able to take out the damage, take out the rest of the team, and then just end the game.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the story of the whole game.
Yeah, I think the main thing is that you gotta protect that Zephyr's well. Zephyr's just gotta be very accurate with where he goes with his ultimate. And if you catch that Slims with his ultimate, and that's pretty much GG, because the ultimate can take his HP down to like 1/3 or close to half, and the rest is just making sure that the second and first ability lands, and that's it. That's how quickly Zephyr's can take out a marksman as well as L'Oreal there. So yeah, in the end he got 7 kills and 10 assists, but he did feed quite a fair bit, 9 deaths there. So he struggled a fair bit in the mid game, but fair play to him. The last team fight, he was he really was the difference maker there. And MVP goes to SG Tan, 15 assists and 5 kills. So congratulations to Samurai Gamers. They picked up their last win of the regular season. So yeah, pretty good stuff. And we're gonna yeah.
No, I was just gonna say the Chalk managed to do 31% damage, to more than the Violet for SG. Definitely well-deserved MVP for him there. That's pretty impressive whenever the support can manage to deal out 31% of the team's damage.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that Chalk just chasing down L'Oreal, chasing down Slims himself. It was pretty insane. But yeah, 31.5% damage dealt to heroes. So crazy stuff from Samurai Gamers. So congratulations to them. They have secured their second spot in the Group B. Well, let me just bring that up real quick. So yeah, and stick around. We do have another match coming up. It's Dix PH against N Gaming. That will be in about 12 minutes. But let's take a look at Group B's final standing. Tamago at the top. They beat basically everyone except for one, because they forfeited their match. That was, I believe, it was against Wawa Pets. So interestingly, it was against Wawa Pets. And second place is Samurai Gamers. Samurai Gamers, they earlier on you asked me who did they lost to. They lost to who was it? Was it? Well, I can't see it here. Samurai Gamers. Oh, they lost to Tamago. So Tamago beat them. That makes sense, because Tamago is right above them. Serial Flush performed very well as they secure the third spot. MA Hexa Elsa barely makes it into the top 4, making sure that they will play in the winners bracket of the playoffs. Team Fire Dragoon coming in to replace Cat Foods mid-season. They took on their 0-3 record and managed to win 3 games themselves. So pretty impressive stuff in the end. But they lost out I think when they lost out against MA Hexa Alpha in round 5, that kind of decided their final position, which is below the top 4. And Vava Pets securing the last spot for the losers bracket playoffs. And yeah, so there we go, the top 6 teams and for the Group B. And later on after that, Group A, we will conclude it as well. Dix PH against N Gaming, and we will see who will be going through via the winners bracket and who will go through via the losers bracket. Unfortunately, there are only 5 teams remaining in Group A. Team Saiyan, Jesselton Mobile, as well as TG Gaming have forfeited all their matches. So yeah, Brand eSports leading 7 wins in a row without losses. They ended their regular season with no defeat. New Era 6 wins and 1 defeat. I believe that one was against Brand eSports, if I'm not wrong. And MA Hexa Delta securing 3rd spot. So yeah, Group A 4th spots up for grab in the match in about 20 minutes. So pretty good stuff, and I'm excited to see that. And alright, so still have one more match, and that's gonna be in about 20 minutes. So but Drew, what do you think of that match earlier on, if you're still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Talking a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we praised kind of the late game play of the Zephyrs, especially jumping on the damage dealers for MYT, but I think early game why we didn't see him have as much of an impact was because MYT was so aggressive in counter jungling, and he wasn't able to scale up quite as quickly. But finally we got past that 15-minute mark where gold no longer matters quite as much. Almost everyone is fully itemized, and at full build the Zephyrs is still going to take out a full build Slims, a full build L'Oreal, just into that death from above, and then maybe a Death Flurry or something like that. So I think that was kind of the story of the game. Early game Zephyrs wasn't able to scale up, but then MYT wasn't able to end it in the early game, so then the Violet scaled up, the Zephyrs scaled up, and they just lost the game in a couple late team fights. What about you? What did you think? Anything to take away from the game? What could MYT have done differently maybe to pull out the victory?
I think they could have tried to deal with the Zephyrs better, but it's kind of hard because they can't really CC him down with Chop protecting him most of the time, and I think it was a pretty tough fight for them. And I think Samurai Gamers, we like we said earlier on, we criticized their picks, but the two diving heroes, Azuka and Zephyrs, really made a huge difference there, and there was nothing that MYT could do. I would say I would have banned Chop instead, because Chop is such a special hero that could really change the tide of the game, because this game is very much about CC at the end of the day, and if you lost that, if you have the ability to cleanse your entire team from CC, and they could just wreak so much havoc against your opponent. So,
yeah, and then combined with the Alice that has that speed buff and everything like that, you can go straight from a CC stun to a CC, everyone's super fast and running all over and killing everything. So.
Very true.
Another thing, just from an individual play standpoint, I noticed the Malik didn't seem to land very many crushes. It seemed like he used it more as a zoning tool, which was very interesting for me to see. Didn't get too many knockups throughout the course of the game, so maybe he'll want to take a look at the gameplay and perhaps change how he's playing that character.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I did notice that as well. Malak is being played to kind of separate the teams apart, and he did it pretty well.
He's still MVP, so I mean he did pretty well.
Yeah.
But we're just saying didn't land too many ultimates, and maybe that could have changed a couple team fights, despite the CC reduction that you're talking about the Chop putting out.
Yeah. So yeah, that was match number 1, Vapats against Samurai Gamers, that just concluded. Dix PH against N Gaming will be up next in about 15 minutes. But yeah, after that match we will show you guys the bracket for the playoffs, and we will try to schedule it as soon as possible. I hope to get it started next week, but depending on my own schedule. But yeah, hopefully we could get that going. But yeah, playoffs should be very interesting. It's a double elimination format, 12 teams. Unfortunately, there will only be 11 teams this time around, because we have a lot of dropouts. So one of the teams in the losers bracket will have a walkover. So yeah, and from what I could see right now, well, I can't really tell from here, but let's see if I could set it up. We'll probably go for a short break. We'll be back in about 15 minutes, and DixPH against Endgaming. Hope you guys will come back in a bit. And yeah, my name is Chisin. I am the host as well as the organizer of VPL Southeast Asia. I have Drew with me tonight. His casting debut on VPL Southeast Asia. So well, yeah, send him some love. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye bye.
What'd you have for dinner?
Alright, we are back for the second match of the night. It's gonna be DixPH against Ant Gaming fighting for the fourth spot in the playoffs. I've already set up the playoff bracket here, so you could take a look. Yeah, there we go. So that's the playoff bracket. And already we are gonna watch Brand eSports against MAX Hexa Alpha as the blockbuster first match. I believe it's gonna be next week. We will try to confirm that later on. But yeah, exciting stuff, exciting stuff. And we will find out who's gonna join them later on. MAX Hexa Alpha will be, I believe they're gonna play either Samurai Gamers or Tamago. So yeah, so that's the playoff bracket. I'm gonna get my co-caster back. I forgot to unmute him. And, hey, welcome back, Drew.
Hey, glad to be back.
Yeah, so I forgot to unmute him, but yeah, he's back. And we're just waiting for DixPH teams to jump on to the lobby as usual, and we will have the game started soon. But yeah, these two teams fighting for the fourth spot. And the reason why the fourth spot is very important is because number one, you will secure your spot for season 2, meaning that season 2 you won't have to play in the open qualifiers anymore. You go straight to the regular season. Okay. Second reason is that you get to play in the winners bracket. So the winners bracket, meaning that if you lost once, you still have another chance to win the entire tournament via the losers bracket. But that is going to be a little tougher, but you do have a second chance. For those teams who finish in 5th and 6th place in their respective group, they are going into the playoff via the losers bracket, and it's gonna be much tougher for them because if they lost once, that's gonna be it for them. So yeah. Anyway, we do have DixPH in the room now, and someone just said hi to me in the chat room. Sorry, the reply. Hi. Nowadays I do see a lot of players and some of you viewers while playing some casual games. I remember after Saiyan Royal Flush played, I think it was it 2 nights ago, and then right away that same night I played a casual match, and then I played against Micro Z and Aileron, and then I was with New Era, and fortunately I did manage to win, but I played very badly because they were so good. Aileron was just harassing me with his grab. So yeah, pretty cool stuff to play against you guys. And if you guys do see me in casual games or ranked games, do say hi. I'll try to say hi as well. So yeah. So seems like we are good to go. Let me just check. Drew, are you okay to go as well?
Yeah, good to go.
Alright, so just making sure everyone. Oops, someone just left. And let's see. Go. Alright, go.
Blue team's turn to ban.
And I believe I have not changed. Oh, I did. So yeah. I thought I forgot to change the team names, but I did. So efficient me. Gotta give myself a pat in the back. Alright, Chopna being banned here. As we mentioned, Chopna is one of the most popular ban in BPL Southeast Asia.
Blue team's turn to
So interesting. Let's see what's gonna how this is gonna pan out here. Maybe gonna try to pick up this Malok very early on.
Interesting to see them prioritize the Malok over the Xennial with that global ultimate, but we'll see if that works out for him.
Yeah, indeed. Maybe Ant Gaming just prefer to play on that Malok. Yeah, we have this Xennial being picked up by DixPH. When you have Zekis on your side,
very tanky teams for
very tanky team.
digs here. Yeah.
Maybe even no marksman could be a possibility here. We have seen teams playing that sort of team dive composition with no marksman.
They're just slims if they lock it in. I'm very surprised to see them pick up an Alistair here. That's not what I would call a tier 1 mage pick, but maybe do you guys not have like a Raz? I saw the L'Oreal, and I'm assuming Talon or no?
We don't have Talon, yeah.
Two very interesting mage pickups here. Maybe they're trying to build it into the team comp. I know Alistair can lock him down, and Illumia too with that global ultimate can actually have a big impact on the game. So we'll see how these kind of off-meta mage picks works out for both teams.
So it's gonna be interesting. As I mentioned, no marksman composition here from Dix PH. And they're gonna rely very heavily on the Lubu as well as this for damage, as well as the Illumia if she managed to not get caught out by Irie as well as Slims. So those two are definitely the ones to watch out for from the Endgaming side. But yeah, this is the first game of a best of 3 series. Dix PH against Endgaming, fighting for the 4th spot in Group A. Tonight is gonna be the last night for the regular season. We have had 24 of such nights, 24 days. So for those of you guys who have watched us for 24 days, as well as the open qualifiers, thank you so much for supporting VPL Southeast Asia, and I really appreciate it that you guys support us. We are not the official league per se, we are just a community league, and the support that is given to us so far has been very encouraging. But yeah, enough of that. Game should start very soon. I think Dix PH have a player that might got disconnected. So, yeah, there we go. The pause coming out here from Dix PH. So both teams are allowed to make up to 3 pauses, and each pause should not exceed more than 2 minutes, and they can't pause during team fights. If they pause during team fights, then they will be won. If they do it repeatedly, then they will be either forfeit their games or even disqualified from the entire tournament. But seems like they have resolved their issues, and we are back on track. Endgaming against Dix PH, Endgaming on the blue side and Dix PH on the red side. So Drew, what do you think we will see in these early games?
Well, I'd be very interested to see if they're going for an invade or not. That's what you always look for in the early game, to see if somebody's going for an invade or not. It looks like most of the team is headed over to secure that blue buff, and no invade should be coming through. Xennial taking a peek through that Dark Slayer pit, but it looks like it's going to be a fairly passive start to the game, and that's probably in favor of the blue team here, of End. So we'll see what happens. I'm very curious to see how both of these compositions work out. Despite the Alistair pick, I'd say that End has the more standard, more meta comp overall, whereas they have a very heavy sustain team, but I'm not sure if they're going to have the top end damage to do much with it in the later game from the Diggs team. But we'll see how that plays out.
See how it plays out. Golem and Tabachi Koi is gonna be the duo jungling. Pick up those jungle creeps and let Cephis have to level 4 as quickly as possible. We want him to be at his best when he's got his ultimate. But meanwhile, Barnes is getting chased out by 3 heroes here, Illidan, Mei, as well as Crusaders. I don't think I've seen him before, so maybe a new player for Endgaming. But yeah, it seems like a big crowd here in mid lane trying to catch out 0-0, very low, pops the heal and will be able to get away. Tabachikoi will back out, and so no kills there, despite the brave attempt by Endgaming. And the Basal Dragon is up right now, and both teams gonna think.
Xennial trying to solo the Spirit Sentinel. It looks like he might have been able to punish it just at the end there and given a slight gold advantage to the Diggs team.
Was it? Oh, yeah, Xennial. Okay, but it's back to the top. Stuns the creeps and chase the Irie away. But the XPH, interestingly, are not having a lot of movement here. They are chasing down Drasco.
Oh, and the Lumia ult comes through and stuns him so the Xennial can execute and pick up that kill. Very impressive.
Yeah, impressive stuff. And the XPH gonna try to take gonna contest with the Abyssal Dragon. They do have the numbers here, but Malok is there to try to disrupt their plan. Runs here, those creeps, as well as chasing him down. Miss ulti there from the Zephys. It's gonna try to chase them down. They do have Slims by their side, and miss stun there. Zero is caught by Alistair. Ooh, that Zephys is doing so much damage.
Yeah, and the sustain is really paying off for them in the early game. They've managed to outlast their opponent in these team fights, and it's going to allow them to pick up a Abyssal Dragon, I would assume uncontested, but we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, so if you have that Lulu with the ultimate that could keep him up for a long period, you have the Zephys second abilities as well if you have a very big crowd of heroes around him to let him unleash it. So yeah. Good to see that Zephys picking up 2 kills as well as 2 assists. Illumia managed to get a kill herself as well. So great start here by DixPH and Gaming. Gonna pick themselves up. They are behind by 2.2 thousand gold. And you don't really want to see that in the first 5 minutes. But it is what it is right now. Sage Golem. Stolen? Nope. Unfortunately, nope. The execute came out a little too late.
Time to collect.
So both teams are not pushing too hard in terms of objectives, but we did see that the bot lane is pretty low for Gaming.
Right. I mean, we've seen Diggs has taken the 2 neutral objectives thus far in the Spirit Sentinel and the Abyssal Dragon. So we'll see if they manage to keep up that neutral objective control and eventually convert that into towers and then the core. I think if they don't snowball early game, they're going to find that they're not going to have enough damage late game to actually take the victory. So we'll see if they're able to punish them in the early game with that early high sustain they have. And they have managed to snowball about a 3k lead, so that's pretty significant.
Yeah, pretty significant, and they're crowding around the Abyssal Dragon area, but the dragon is not up in the next 15 seconds or so. Meanwhile, at the top, the battle between the Irie and Xennial will be tightly contested. Xennial is 1 level above and should be able to keep that Irie at bay for the meantime, as long as it doesn't get caught out. Right, so Abyssal Dragon is up, and it seems like DixPH is prepared to contest it.
Yep, got a scout out, scouted the bird. They may actually push in on this Malak. They're trying to do that, tried to lock him down with the ult, but he escapes and actually ults to escape back under a tower. They're still going for him. I'm not sure that's a wise decision. They will pick up the kill, and they will manage to avoid any of their players dying. Just barely that thing gets away, and they are going to convert that into the first tower of the game in the bot lane. Very impressive play. I kind of questioned them going for that, but it looks like they'll still be able to pick up. Oh, they're even going for this Might Golem down south. Looks like they're pushing a big team fight in the top lane as well, trying to trade towers. They will pick up that top tower and trade. It looks like kills work out about even on both sides. An effective kill there.
Wow, they managed to take down the second tier tower as well. That the Zephys and as well as Lulu does have the damage to do so very quickly if unattended, and they managed to punish Endgaming in that sense, as well as taking this Abyssal Dragon. So I would say DixPH came out on top of that trade.
Oh, definite.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So
There were trades happening across the map, but they managed to get the better end of those trades for sure, and we're starting to see them scale up, and all their players significantly out leveling those on end. So we'll see what happens. Continuing to push that lead out, just above 4K gold lead. We'll see if they're able to pick up another tower soon.
Yeah, and the top lane tower is pretty low at the moment, and that's definitely going to be one of their targets. As we see, the XPH players are moving towards the top now. You can see that the duo of Tabachikoi as well as Golem playing on Tain, push out Irie, trying to scare her away, but Irie will be able to back away, and she does have the mobility to do so. Meanwhile, mid lane is pretty crowded. They're trying to get to that senior getting caught by Slim's stun. Lumias comes out with a stun to try to save his teammate. Marlock comes in with the ultimate, but seems like DXPH is gonna take on this fight. Tabachikoi picking out a kill himself, and they might take down another 1-2 kills for that Zephys. Maybe a third one, but probably not. Irie will be able to get away. So 2 kills.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the team fight that they wanted to take. Positioning just wasn't there, and it looks like Diggs will be able to go ahead and clear away, maybe take this tower, and they're definitely going to pick up that Might Golem with the Zephys going in on it now. They're just continuing to pressure the tower. Looks like they'll probably fall back, maybe look to push this mid tower.
Yeah, they continue to exhaust the Slims from his any opportunity to clear the jungle at all. So it's been a kind of rough game for Slims, and he hasn't been able to unleash his potential. Because Slim's kinda item dependent, I would say.
Yeah, and tough to get those items when you're behind by about 5 to 6K gold, so, and out leveled as well.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, and Zephys, I think he picked up the Spirit Sentinel there. Golem will try to contest this Abyssal Dragon. The XPH is just growing in confidence in this game number 1, and Endgaming kind of shell shock and trying to protect their area.
Pick up another tower up top, and they continue to push that. They're falling back now as the entire team for End is coming to chase down these two from Diggs. Managed to avoid the crush, and looks like they'll get away scot-free with the tower and some poke damage on the top laner there. And something that happened while we were looking away from that, Thane actually started the Abyssal Dragon, and the Zephys came in and picked it up. So.
Yeah, so
nice play, managed to misdirect and then pick up a neutral objective on the other side of the map.
Yeah, rotating very well between their teammates, and 3 Abyssal Dragon for DXPH, and they are about 7,000 gold lead. Pretty significant within the first 10 minutes. You don't really...
Oh, Xennial stealing that Might Golem. I'm sorry, just
I did see
making trades, picking stuff up all over the map.
So DXPH, as we mentioned, growing in confidence. Barnes picking up that kill with Lulu. Steal that blue buff so quickly there. And XPH just pushing on, snowballing their way, stomping Endgaming to the ground.
The Endgaming jungle is now the DXPH jungle,
yes,
for sure.
Exactly. Oh my god. XPH still going for it. Zephys getting a double kill there possibly. Irie will be able to get away, and this top lane tower will go down now with the creeps pushing on. Maybe the high ground tower as well. XP gotta be careful, they are pretty low. And as I mentioned, low Lulu goes down to Alistair. Alistair picking up second kill off the game.
Oh, and they pick up those last 2 kills, but I think they don't have enough health to push this high ground, and they're gonna have to retreat. That was not quite the trade they're looking for. Very sloppy, actually. Just getting over eager. They've been ahead the whole game, but they just gave 3 kills back to Endgame. We'll see if that gives them enough motivation to actually continue to make a game of it. But they've got to push waves on all lanes. they're probably going to go for this Abyssal since the Zephyrs is up. It's continuing to clear zone jungle, but I wouldn't be shocked for them to go for a couple more neutral objectives while they're waiting for the team to respawn.
Yeah. So, DixPH is above by 8.5k now, almost 9k, and 13 kills to 4, 3 Abyssal Dragon to 0, and surprisingly they haven't gone for the Dark Slayer, but that could change within the next few moments.
Both teams positioning around it, scouting on it from end. Looks like they see digs coming in. Also some counter scouting coming in from the Thane. We'll see who sees who first and if they decide to engage or both disengage from around this Dark Slayer.
Yeah, and I think there's an opportunity for DixPH to push the bot lane, but Senio decided to take the Abyssal Dragon all by himself. Yeah.
They did manage to pick up that tier 2 mid tower and they're engaging around that area. We'll see if Zenio ults in at some point, probably if he starts to see a full-fledged team fight. Looks like both sides are disengaging. They may go for that dark side. They started it. See if they manage to pick it up, or if in-game we'll see this start to happen and rotate over and maybe get a steal.
Yeah, Zenio managed to clear the creeps, and he should jump in anytime now. He's still pushing on to the bot lane. Zephyr's picking up that Dark Slayer buff, and now Endgaming try to kill some of the DixPH players, chasing them down, but they might pay the price here. They are in disarray. Steam goes down, their main damage dealer. Haven't been able to pick up any kills so far. Double kill for Senio, and that Oma goes down as well. Only Malok as well as Irie, the remaining players. Irie way apart from his teammates, and seems like this game should go to DixPH. Just single down Dark Slayer buff and the cooldowns on Endgaming side. It's pretty much GG. You have the creeps as well, so there we go. Game number
Murder.
1. Yep. Game number 1 goes to DixPH. Well done to them, and we're gonna head into game number 2 very shortly, but let's take a look at the result. Zephyr's picking up the MVP there, 10.8, 8 kills, 5 assists, 0 death. That's almost a perfect display of a good Zephyr's game, and yeah, the rest pretty much contributed evenly as well. 15 assists for Tane, and Lubu himself got 10 assists. He's playing that support build. So yeah, good stuff. We're gonna head into game number 2 now. Let's create a lobby for them.
Yeah, and I think the story for that game was, as we identified in the opening draft, there's just so much early sustain for DixPH. They were able to continue to snowball in the early game, and were able to put it away before that 15-minute mark when gold starts to matter quite a bit less. So props to them for getting the draft advantage and then taking advantage of it and playing the game aggressively as they should have, and taking it in the mid game.
Yeah, indeed. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen for game number 2. Let's see. Game number 2, we're trying to get the players into the lobby now, but that game, DixPH was able to snowball from, I think, from the 4th minutes onwards, and then they never seemed like letting go of that first game. So yeah, props to them for sustaining that sort of pressure. Just kept on going, and this is gonna be crucial. Game number 2, Endgaming gonna try to push the series to the 3rd game, because they want to secure the 4th spot. They want to secure their auto qualification for next season, and we're gonna make some big changes for next season as well. We're trying to condense the season, change the format a little bit, and make it slightly more engaging for the viewers as well. So do stay tuned with some of the new stuff. We're gonna announce the registration for season 2 after we are done with the playoffs. But yeah, that's gonna be probably mid-May or late May. We shall see. All right, seems
Speaking
like.
of no, go ahead and start the game. I was going to say, speaking of registration, I'm sure everybody's curious to hear if and when VPL EU might be coming around the corner, but
Seems
no
like
spoilers today.
VPL EU is kind of a tough one because we are not pushing very hard on that end, but we should try to do that in the next few weeks. But let me just update this score real quick.
Blue team's turn to pick.
Murad banned from Diggs and a Zennial banned from End. We'll see how this shakes out. Looks like they're going to lock in the Chog for Diggs as the first pick, and we'll see what they draft for End in response to that.
Locked on to that Chog now, and Zephyr's being picked up by End Gaming this time around, just stealing away from Tabashikoi. Tabashikoi, you might want to play something else in this game. Ooh,
do you have Zill on this server?
Nope. One of the best heroes in the game, not on SEA.
Well, don't worry. I mean, we don't have Zennial and NA, or Malik for that matter. So. Or Murad.
Yeah, they've been teasing Malok for a while, but I didn't know that they have not released it.
Yeah.
Lindis being picked up here by Tabashikoi. It could go to someone else, but we shall see. Lindis is not being played very often in VPL Southeast Asia, so it's interesting. We do see a fair bit of Tel Anes, but not Lindis. And with the release of Lindis on Southeast Asia server, we have seen almost zero Batman being played in VPL Southeast Asia. So.
Yeah, just falls off so hard in the mid to late game that it, unless you can snowball in the first 10 minutes or so, it's going to be game over for you. Some interesting picks here. They really like that Illumia for Diggs. We'll see if that manages to serve them well, along with the Lindis pick, going against a Joker. It looks like both teams have tried to go slightly, well, actually I should take that back. End has tried to go slightly tankier this game. Except for that Joker, and we'll see if that manages to work out for them better than it did in the last game. They're able to exert some more pressure on Diggs Gaming.
Yeah, I actually really like the picks from End Gaming. They have the mobility, they have the DPS, and they have the tankiness in them. Pretty well-rounded team here. But they do.
I'm curious to see if the Joker is a mid lane Joker, which we do see on occasion. So
yeah, Joker is usually mid lane on this server as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm a little concerned for them. They are lacking a little bit in terms of magic damage. So will that be an issue for them?
I mean, you can address things like that just with your builds, right? But we'll see if they do that. Sometimes you just get locked into your standard build. You forget to make those small itemization changes to account for the fact that you have no magic damage on your team. I'm sure that Diggs is fully aware that they have no magic damage built into their team, so I'm sure they'll build to defend against all standard attack damage.
Alright, so game number 2 starts now. Diggs PH leading by 1 game to 0. They are on the blue side, and End Gaming is on the verge of dropping to the 5th spot of Group A if they lose this game, but they will want to try to push to game number 3. They are on the red side as we begin. Seems like Diggs PH gonna attempt a invasion or just try to disrupt them for a fair bit.
Looks like a small disruption. They're falling back. Just wanted to give them a little pressure, force them to clear out that golem a little bit slower, and quickly everyone's back to their lanes after that first pseudo engage.
Yeah, and we're gonna see a matchup between Libu and Irie at the top lane. Libu very aggressive here, trying to hurt as much as possible, and force that Irie to pick up the heal at the back of the tower. Mid lane is getting a little crowded here. Zero surrounded by 3 End Gaming players. We're gonna just roam around And that Joker surprisingly not staying in mid lane, but just roaming and trying to pick up some kills maybe here. DXPH have the numbers, 3 against 2, meh. Getting out position, goes down. That lane is picking up the first kill, first blood, and DXPH off to a good start.
Yeah, really nice rotation there from their jungle and their support. They seem to be rotating together for now, and that worked out for them to pick up the kill. And that helped the Chog, who's going to have a difficult time otherwise against that Joker in the bottom lane. And a mid-engage, looks like Zephy's dove in too deep, and he should get picked up. He is picked up for the kill. And Linda's just continuing to rampage across the map, now rotating up to that Spear Sentinel. They're going to pick up the first neutral objective of the game. I'm sure we'll soon see everyone rotate back down to the Abyssal. Everyone seems to be positioning around that for now.
So Spirit Sentinel has been picked up by DXPH. 2 kills for them. Slightly ahead in terms of gold. 1,000 gold differential. But Endgaming try to compose themselves and pick the right target. Zephy's gotta be a little bit more careful in terms of his targeting. And he tried to target Illumia in the engagement, but eventually Illumia was able to be saved by his teammates. At the top here, Lubu trying to steal the jungle. Irie completely unaware, just focusing on clearing creeps. She's kind of low, and Lubu, if he wanted to, could have chased him down, but clearing creeps is pretty important, as you do not want to lose the extra goals. Meanwhile, bot lane, how is this brewing up, Drew?
Well, it looks like everyone's positioned around the Abyssal Dragon. Diggs has actually started. I'm sure they'll try to pull it out a little bit further away from its enclosure so they have a better angle at it and can help zone away so that no one can steal it over the wall. Looks like they did pick it up despite a hard engage from that Ormar. And they actually may pick up a kill. No, a heal comes through for the Illumia. Malik is still going for Andy. Swipes her down. It looks like... Oh, and another kill picked up on the Malik. They're going hard for this Lindis. If he can get it in time, that won't be too bad a trade, and they do manage to do it, but the Joker should go down here. Picks up the Thane with his passive. Chog chasing down the Joker, and should be able to convert, is able to convert. Trades all over the map, but in the end, 6-4 total kill lead for DXPH, and that first Abyssal Dragon gives them about 0.5k lead. Not too big a difference. They've done a good job farming waves over for Endgaming. Trying to pick up the Chog in the brush, doesn't see him, and looks like we'll reset and go back to some standard play for a bit.
Yeah. A little disappointed that no tower was being pushed there, but that was a bit very probably the biggest engagement we have seen in this game so far. But speaking of engagement, we have another one here for the Spirit Sentinel.
Ooh, picks him up.
2-for-1 trade, maybe. Endgaming once very low, goes down to Omar there. Joker trying to get away. He's just 1 kill away from getting killed, but before that he will take down Illumia. So yeah.
The Lindis picks up the Ahri in the bush there. The Bushmaster herself taking advantage of that, speeding through and taking down the Ahri.
Still, it's an equal trade, and both teams are gonna try to reset.
In the middle of all that happening, they have managed to push their lead out to about 1k, so not too significant, but it does matter a little bit more in the early game here. Transitioning to mid game.
Chok now pushing the bot lane tower all by himself. He does have a creep advantage here, and Irie is racing against time to try to stop that. I think she should be able to do so. She's pretty quick in covering those yards, and she will be able to secure that tower. Meanwhile, Abyssal Dragon
Dig starting the Abyssal.
Yeah.
I was saying Dig starting. Yep. And Thane trying to zone. The Crush comes in. It's cancelled. And Illumia ult comes in. Not sure if it's trying to take the dragon or not. Looks like Malak manages to pick up the Abyssal, so they're able to swing that gold lead back to a negligible 0.2 10k gold lead. They're probably going to pick up the Thane. They do pick up the Thane. And dives under tower, takes a tower shot, nothing doing there. Disengage, taking some jungle, and then they're going to head on back out to their mid lane tower, which has been pushed very hard by the Lubu. Just manages to pick it up with that siege minion, sacrifices his life, but I think that's well worth it. It'll give him access to the jungle of End Gaming. And we'll see if they're able to take this mid tower in response.
Yeah, they should be able to do so because they do have the numbers. It's 4 against 3 now. And, traded that mid lane tower now with those two teams. And Gaming is slightly ahead in terms of gold. They managed to turn things around. And they do have more kills now compared to Dix PH. But very, very tight game. We did see Gaming performing much better in this game. Probably thanks to a better composition as well.
Definitely. I would say that last game that Alice just didn't really fill the role they needed as far as either a tank or providing damage, and they switched that out, and it seems to be working out pretty well for them here in the mid game in this set. They're pushing that top tower hard. They will be able to take it down. Diggs taking a 1 tower lead over End Gaming, and they're looking to push into the jungle. Nothing's there. Clearing another wave. They may go for the second tower. And they may trade for the bottom tower. We'll see how that goes. The Chog actually managing to stand up well on bottom, and they retreat from that tier 2 tower on top and move on to Joker in the mid lane.
But Malok is there
Looks
to
like
stop
a
them.
disengage.
Zephys comes in to try to pick up some kills, maybe chasing him down. Illumia goes down to Malok.
Oh, nice pickup by the Joker.
Man, XPA just melting away here.
And that is a team wipe. The only person to survive is the Chog over pushing that top tower, but they should be able to pick up this tier 2. They may be able to take a high ground. The respawns are still above 10 seconds. They will be able to take it. They're tanking and taking down that mid tower, and it looks like End Gaming taking a significant lead here. Chog's having to recall just to make sure they don't actually take the core, but they're going to head back out as the rest of Diggs Gaming respawns. That was some very impressive team fighting there. They're going to savage the jungle of Diggs Gaming and then fall back to their own and clear some waves, because they do have some waves pushing in on the top tower. And Chizen, how can Diggs Gaming, who looked like they were well even at least, if not in control of the game, they've fallen behind here in terms of total kills and towers down, and they'll have those big old minions pushing down the mid lane.
I think the main thing here is trying to zone out that Zephys from Illumia as well as Lindis. He has been able to target those two pretty easily. Maybe you want to space out Illumia and Lindis. Try not to have them to be too close to each other, because that Zephys ultimate could really, with his AOE as well, could really cause you trouble if both of those squishy heroes are too close together. Now another team fight breaks up, and trying to target Zephys here. Zephys has the sustainability. Will be able to take down Tane, and Drasko goes down. Ooh. That shot now trying to get away. Lindis finally takes out that Zephys. Double kill for Juju. And they finish them off. 4-player goes down for End Gaming. Just one more, and they could have a team wipe. There we go, the first team wipe of the game. I believe the series as well, if I'm not mistaken. They're gonna try to push this mid lane tower, second tier 1. But End Gaming has had Joker to try to stop them from taking the high ground tower. So not too bad. Swinging back to Diggs PH's favor. They have the goal lead now. And what do you think went wrong for End Gaming in the team fight?
You know, they're damaged. It's the same thing in most team fights, right? Your damage goes down early, the other team's damage stays up, and they're able to take the game. I think that was just a bad engage, and the Chog, not being aware of where the other team was, actually ran straight into that Ahri and was able to be picked up as a kill in the mid part of that fight. So I think that it comes back most times to just taking out damage early and then your team is positioned better to go ahead and try and take the fight. Also, the early part of that fight, the Malik was forced to use his crush to actually escape instead of actually knock up some of the players from Diggs Gaming, and that could have had a pretty significant effect on the course of the game. Looks like they're gonna position around the Dark Slayer. Nope, just clearing waves for now, taking out that Vision Bird perhaps.
Maybe the top.
Oh, that top tower. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, exactly.
Good, make quick work of that and back the wave. Head on to the next target, take down that Vision as well. Meanwhile, Omar, there's a one-man army pushing down the mid lane. So, pretty spread out here from End Gaming. DixPH decided to stick pretty closely together. Lindy's getting targeted by Zephyr's. Stuns comes up for Illumia. This could turn things around. Chokna chasing him down. Zephyr's goes down. Wow, that stun from Illumia just completely...
Yeah, it not only saved the Lindis who was going to go down there, but then it allowed them to get the turnaround onto the Zephyrs, and that's a pretty big pickup for End Gaming. We'll see what they do with it. They're going for the Dark Slayer, activated by Diggs. They're pulling out, they're chasing away the Joker and Malik up top. It looks like they're not actually going to go for it right now, or will they? Nope, just positioning around it. See if they decide to go for it in the next little bit here.
Yeah, so very good play there from Illumia, seizing the opportunities to turn things around earlier against that Zephyr's. And XPH is now have a slight lead in terms of goal. They have equal number of towers taken out, but End Gaming did manage to take down the mid high ground tower, as we have seen earlier on. But they haven't managed to make full use of that yet. We'll see how it pans out in the next few minutes as End Gaming crowding towards the top side. Yu is all by himself, but DixPH will regroup. Golem positioning is kind of risky there, but they will be able to move around between the top lane and the mid lane. Ari trying to get away. So what's the game plan here? What do you think? Are they gonna try to push the top lane just to take down the second tier, and then
I think they do, to give themselves a little bit more breathing room to go ahead and try and attempt to take this Dark Slayer, but it looks like an engage is coming out hard onto them. They're pushing back. See if the Linus can keep up and actually deal some damage. She's getting decent damage onto that Ormar. A heal comes through though. Looks like the whole team's there. They're split up, and that's going to be a kill on the Ormar. It looks like it may be one as well. Back onto the Lindis. If they can get her in time, they do, and they get the Illumia as well. This is a team fight for sure, and they've managed to take out the Zeppies. Malik now fighting a 1v2. The Chog has to recall. He would do well to retreat. Actually, a good play by the Ari there to stay alive, and we'll see if she managed to recall. They're taking out the Lubu. Oh, wow. Managed to get spanked down by the Thane. That's a great play by the Thane to pick it up in the mid-game, and they pick up the Lubu. But the Chog coming back in after the heal up. Malik ults in, trying to catch the Thane. He doesn't. The ultimate for Thane keeps him alive. Will the Malik be able to keep the trade here onto Thane? He's not. Illumi ult comes through and picks up the Malik. That was some very extended team fighting and works out in the end in favor of Diggs PH.
Yeah, in favor of Diggs PH, they managed to protect the top lane second tier tower as well. So that's a big win for them, as they're gonna try to make some moves here, possibly going for the Dark Slayer. They don't have blue blue, but as I mentioned, they're gonna go for it now.
That's the smart play. They've been behind or even most of the game. If they manage to pick this up uncontested or mostly uncontested, they'll be able to take the win. But End Gaming comes in, and they actually managed to not pick it up. That's going to be a big deal unless they can close out these low health characters for Diggs Gaming right here, and they are not.
Yeah, but Kane goes down trying to protect his team while they picked up the Dark Slayer buff. Lugu is back up to support them in the end, but that second tier top tower finally goes down, and it's all to play.
Yep, Joker just sneezed on it and it went down. Yeah.
Yeah, Joker just Achoo! And done.
Or maybe a haha, just laughed
Yeah,
on it.
that's right.
Yeah.
So Abyssal Dragon, initiated by N Gaming, they're gonna try to get a little bit more gold, but DigSPH will try to steal it. Thank you very much, said Lubu. And gonna try to push now through the mid lane, maybe the bot lane as well. Wow, Lubu is back to clear the creep wave while his teammates are fighting. It is 4 against 4 here.
Oh.
N Gaming very, very low. Oh my god.
Managed to pick up a kill on the Joker. The Chog should get a kill here unless he's killed in return. They've chased down the Zephyrs. Looks like he's going to go down. He is down. That's a decent Darkslayer buff, but they haven't gotten any objectives yet. We'll see if they manage to keep this minion alive long enough to actually take this high ground tower, start getting their minions pouring into the base as well. Looks like they are not. They're forced to peel away, coming back in with a fresh wave, and that should be the tower. They may get a couple kills here, and it's possible they could end the game if it goes well enough for them. It looks like they are. Looks like this should be the game and the match for DigSPH. Very nice turnaround, very good use of the Darkslayer buff, and that is how you zone out and end the game right there. Lindis on core. GG's, well played to Diggs. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, to DigSPH. That was weird.
Yeah.
Some End Gaming got a kill there at the end and saw them pop up, but it is indeed DigSPH that takes the game in the match. GG, well played.
GG, well played to DigSPH. They secured the 4th spot in Group A, and that pretty much that concludes our regular season, ladies and gentlemen. And for that, DigSPH Golem managed to pick up the MVP as well. Lindis was very, very crucial with 9 kills and 9 assists. So that was a very, very good display there from that from Tabachi Koi, and they able to finish off 2-0 in this best of 3 series. And we're gonna update that real quick for all the scores, and then we will show you guys the bracket for the playoffs. I'm very, very excited about that. Let me see if I could update the scores now.
Bracket hype.
Bracket hype, bracket hype. And let's see, DigSPH 1-2-0. Alright, so we're gonna validate that. And let me just very quickly give them the remaining placement for the last few teams that have just joined us in the playoffs bracket. So the 3rd spot goes to, let me just update this real quick. The 3rd spot goes to MA Hexa Delta. That's the final bracket for Group A. And DigSPH picking up the 4th spot. DigSPH, congratulations to them. And N Gaming unfortunately will be at the 5th spot. And there we go. Right, so we're gonna update that bracket now and show you guys.
That could be a first round matchup then, or no? Would it be a 5-4 matchup in the first round, or what? What would that bracket be looking at?
What do you mean, like 5-4 bracket? So it's it's. I mean, we will have 12 teams. Team Saiyan have disbanded, so we're gonna just forfeit their match. Anyway,
okay.
Yeah, so whoever gets to that bracket will get a walkover for the losers bracket match. So yeah, and let's take a look here. In fact, I'm just gonna forfeit that real quick. Well, I can't, to be honest. So anyway, that's the bracket for the playoffs. Brand eSports against MA Hexa Alpha in the winners bracket first game, and followed by Samurai Gamers against MA Hexa Delta. So if the MA Hexa Alpha and Delta somehow manage to beat their opponents, they will meet in the winners bracket semifinals. Tamago is gonna play against Dix PH. That's gonna be a tough match for Dix PH. Tamago coming in strong, very strongly, and definitely one of the favorites to win the entire tournament. New Era against Saiyan Royal Flush. New Era probably gonna be the favorite there. Saiyan Royal Flush is not it's not gonna be a weak opponent against New Era. Saiyan Royal Flush have some really good players as well. And the losers bracket, Team Fight Dragoon, Wawa Pets, and N Gaming are waiting for whoever drops down from that winners bracket, and they will be smelling blood and try to go through the losers bracket. And the finals is gonna be a best of 5. The grand finals best of 5. The losers with a winner's advantage, meaning that whoever goes through from the winners bracket will have a 1-0 lead at the very start. So that's gonna be the format. So yeah, finally we are at the playoffs. Hope you guys are excited to watch that. And but regular season finally is at its end already. And thank you so much, Drew, for joining me for the last regular season matches. And that's it from us tonight. And I'm gonna see you guys probably next week for the first playoff match. My name is Chisin, and my co-caster Drew. Do follow him on Twitter, DrewRPL, Drew_RPL, and Drew. So
hey, great to be here with you, Chisin. Yeah. Wait, before we go, what's your first impression? Who would you put money on to win this bracket? Let's get the commentators' totally biased opinion on who's going to take home this league.
My personal opinion is Brand Esports and Tamago gonna be the top 2 picks, and yeah, it's kind of hard to tell because Brand Esports is from Group A and Tamago is from Group B, so we haven't seen how they perform. But I did see them playing some friendly matches previously, and it's a pretty tight affair. But I think Tamago is won their matches, if I'm not wrong. So yeah,
oh wow, okay.
I'll probably put Tamago above Brand Esports. Unfortunately, we don't have Clutch Guild here. CG they won the Philippines finals, so maybe the next season we might see Clutch Guilds, hopefully. But yeah, those 2 teams are my favorites. And we're gonna do some giveaways. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna predict who is